Queridos alunos, a fim de mantermos o decreto e continuarmos o seu desenvolvimento na língua, a gente vai disponibilizar para vocês em formato digital as videoaulas com o intuito de continuar a nossa missão e de principalmente intensificar o seu projeto, o seu desejo, sua vontade de aprender o idioma inglês. Então, vamos à aula!
Hello guys, how are you doing today? Are you good? I hope so. So, today we're going to talk about April 2nd, okay? The text talks about Hans Andersen. He was a fairy tale writer, so he wrote The Little Mermaid, The Emperor New Clothes, and many others. The text also mentions about his early life. So his father passed away, letting him with his mother, and some people believe that he was an illegitimate Danish royal family member. Okay? Here we have some of the verbs from the text, like to be, to die, to gain, to become, to discover, to base, to continue, to remain, to begin, and to produce. Okay? So, let's go to the home practice on pages 858, 859. In this exercise, you have to create sentences using the verbs from the text, talking about your life. So I've written some examples here to help you out. We have Louise watched Cinderella yesterday, Anna almost died in Frozen, Snow White visited the dwarfs, my mom became an English teacher when he was 15. Scientists didn't discover the cure of COVID-19 last week. Guilherme didn't win the lottery last month. Thaisa was tired last year. Celso and Bruna weren't in a party to celebrate her birthday this morning. Okay? Then, senior exercise, they have to summarize the text. So as I've summarized the text in the beginning, I'm going to write some short information about it. Okay? So we have, this text is separated into Hans' early life and his writing career. Then master has to give the opinion. So we have an example here. I believe he was a good writer. Okay? Then we're going to go to the review. Before we go to the review, I must emphasize that senior master, when you're in the online class, don't forget to give your summarize, okay, and your opinion if it's required, okay? So, this review, we're going to talk about the simple past, okay? And what is simple past about? Simple past talks about actions concluded in a specific moment in the past. Okay? So, what is the specific moment? Here we have some examples of specific moments, like yesterday, when he was 15, last week, last month, last year, this morning. Okay? So, it's when you specify the moments that the action happened. Okay? When we're talking about the simple past, we divided simple past into regular, irregular, and verb to be. Okay? We're going to start with regular verbs. Regular verbs, they have a specific rule when we are talking about the affirmative form. Okay? So when we are working with the affirmative form, the specific rule that they use is verb plus ed, d, or ied. Okay? Here we have an example. So take a look. We have the verb plus ed. We also have in here invisit, verb plus ed. Okay? Verb plus d, as we have here, is when the verb ends in E. So if the verb ends in E, you are going to use plus D. This rule here, we are going to apply when we have the case, for example, study. Okay, take a look. Study. We have consonant and Y. So in this case, when you change to the past form, you're going to drop Y and add IED. Okay? So this case just comes when you have consonant plus Y. Okay? Then, I have an example here that I'm going to show you how we do the interrogative form in this case. So, we have the sentence that is Lucy liked. So as I said, verb ending E, you put the D. Liked fairy tales when she was young. Okay? So, as we have an example, I mentioned that we have this rule for affirmative form. How do we do when we have the negative form? Negative form, we are going to use didn't, as we have in here. Okay? We have here, and we also have here. But when we use didn't, we are going to use the verb in the base form. So the case of discover is a verb that is regular. So we are not going to use the ed that would be the case here. Okay? How do we do the interrogative form? The interrogative, we're going to use did. So, did Lucy like fairy tales when she was young? Okay? So, when we do the negative or the interrogative, we're going to use the verb in the base form. Alright? Then, we're going to talk about irregular verbs. Okay? Irregular verbs. They are different from regular verbs only in the affirmative form. Okay? Why? Because regular verbs we use ed, d, ied, right? Then, when we're using irregular verbs, as we have an example here, we change completely the structure or we keep the structure. How can we understand, how can we memorize this information? Take a look at the list. There is a list available that you have a bunch of irregular verbs to memorize, okay? But they only change in the affirmative form. So we have here became, and we also have another irregular verb that's in the negative form, which is win. Okay? So when we use the negative with didn't win. Okay? So you change the verb to the base form. Right? Then we are going to also use this one. I'm going to create the sentence here to show how do we do the negative form. Okay? This time I'm going to use the negative. They began to act in fairy tale movies. Okay? So, this case, I'm going to create a negative example. How do we change it to the negative? Negative, we're going to use did, but in the negative form. They didn't begin. in the base form, we use to begin and drop to. Begin. They didn't begin to act in fairy tale movies. Okay? So, talking about irregular verbs, we use in the affirmative form a different structure. But negative and interrogative, we use did in the base form. So it's the same for regular and irregular. Alright? Finally, we're going to talk about the last verb that doesn't follow this rule, which is verb to be. Okay? Verb to be has two forms, which are was and were. When do I use was? I'm going to use was for I, he, she, and it. Okay? And were, we're going to use for you, we, they. So we have an example. Yes, we have. Take a look here. Thaisa was tired last year. So we have verb to be was. Was because we're talking about she. Alright? Then we also have a negative example here. Weren't. Weren't Celso and Bruna weren't in a party to celebrate her birthday this morning. What do we have? Weren't is related to they. What's the other characteristic? When we are talking about the negative and the interrogative form with verb to be, we're not going to use did. Okay? So as you can observe, Celso and Bruna weren't in a party. How do we do the affirmative? Celso and Bruna were in the party. Okay? Then I'm going to create an example here to show the interrogative. So, he was sleepy. Yesterday. Okay? So how do we do the interrogative form? The interrogative form with verb to be, we're going to change the order. So, interrogative, we have was he sleepy yesterday? Okay? If you have any problem, don't forget to talk to your teacher, okay? Don't forget also to do the class practice, take a look at the language gears, and be ready for your class online. Okay? See you next time. Bye-bye.